why, but I feel like eyes should be purple. And
You just
like,
watch too much anime, brother.
no, man, no, no. Like, where in anime have you ever seen fucking purple eyes, bro?
Half of them.
That's not true. You know damn well I seen as many animes as you, probably even
Like
more.
try not to
We
cuss
ain't
The
seen
that
no
purple
much in
fucking
the
one,
purple
first
eyes
seven
in no
minutes.
anime.
We lied,
the
y'all,
purple
so
one.
try not to cuss as much in the first 7 minutes.
Oh, I
True.
didn't know. My bad.
Well, beep 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 that then.
I apologize,
It's all
YouTube.
right.
Don't demonetize him.
It's all right.
No, but for real, like, cause like, I don't know. I feel like a human should have something like purple or yellow eyes. I don't know why they don't. Cause like it expresses in certain mammals.
Like lions and dogs and stuff. There's the Tennessee. I mean, in Kentucky or one of them places, there was some people. They were blue skinned because of something that there was in their bloodline.
Oh,
And they passed it
silver.
down. They passed it down to generations. They all have blue skin.
Yeah, a
It
lot of silver accumulation in the body will do that if it's not
was
like
like
monoatomic or properly broken down. Like there's people who use a lot of colloidal silver and it started to have like slightly bluish tints to them.
no, but these people were famous for that. There was a family that their bloodline was blue skinned and like Papa Smurf with white hair and everything. The motherfucker looked like Papa Smurf. He was blue skinned with white hair. And all his daughters, all his sons, all his offspring, all his family were all blue skinned, and they ended up dying out. I guess their family died out.
You know what's another thing? In Hindu
What's up,
mythology
Alex?
and in like older mythologies in South America, you do have people with green skin, but you also have people with blue skin and you also have people with red skin.
Mhm.
Yes.
There's got to
The
be
secrets.
the shades. What I was telling you about book with that whole thing when the dude was talking about that breakdown he gave, talking about the different shades and stuff like that, and why they were like that. He gave the real explanation way better. Oh,
Yeah, I ain't heard that.
I ain't gonna lie, they got that in Egypt.
According to like
throw it up on the lab.
I forgot who it is. Ancient Vedics, Hindus, Tamil, Sanskrit, I forgot which one. But the old human was called Sakta Prana and was essentially man plant. It was a being, it was a humanoid, but it was able to absorb sunlight and do the reverse of photosynthesis, which was the complement to the plants. You had the plants that couldn't move and gave the atmosphere the oxygen, and you had the original man that could move and gave the plants the carbon and would act as a natural like compost fertilizer in certain senses when it would consume of its fruits. Because if you think about it, the reason why certain plants have fruits in the first place is so that they can be appealing to something that can move, so that whatever finds it appealing grabs it, eats it, and then propagates the seeds or eats the seeds and then defecates the seeds in other areas. And also, the defecation is technically a form of reprocessing material to bring it back into the ground and make it like fertile again. So there is a what's it called a synergy between those two elements. But if you stop consuming fruit, then you're not part of the synergy anymore.
Why is my
Definitely some
computer?
interesting stuff out there about that.
I'm wondering why my computer clocking out so high right now. This thing been tripping, man. It's been tripping for no reason
Like
at
there are
all.
actual humans who can't like not consume meat. It's part of their gut biome. They need to consume meat. In fact, if they consume too many fruits or vegetables, the lectin protein inside of those fruits and vegetables will start to ravage their gut biome and their their intestinal lining, which would cause them like diseases and inability to move properly. So it makes you think like what kind of buildup would eventually occur? What kind of deviation from the original like area where you're supposed to be at and mutation or adaptive mutation would occur in a person via the changing of the bacteria inside of them to make them like pretty much technically cannibals. Because even eating starches is not normal or natural. Because the body has to like overwork and change the quality of the saliva to be able to digest the starch, and you can't combine it with anything else.
I think that's crazy though how that dude broke it down though, and there is people who have blue skin that lived in
But
Kentucky or Alabama or wherever it was. I think it was Kentucky, the blue skin Kentucky
it's
dude.
people, it's people out there right now so black they blue. I'm just.
That's a different type of blue.
He said that's a different kind of blue, though.
Yeah, that's a different
No,
kind of.
no funny.
That's a
Talking about,
natural
like
blue.
the magnesium levels or the metal levels in the plants and stuff. And then now we intake more like instead of intaking more magnesium or something like that, now we intake more copper. And then I guess like copper and water, not copper, some type of effect copper got like it got that effect where once it hit water and oxidizes or something like that, then it turns like that rust color. And then we call that color like, oh yeah, the black people are like the melanin. But it's like niggas used to be blue, green, brown, red. You know what I mean? I think
Hey, but
brown
you
is like
said
a
it,
shade of
man.
red. or
What if
something.
it's the
I don't know that
quality of the
for real,
water in
but that's
people?
how it looks. My granddad is orange. That nigga looks red type junk.
If what changes it is
Yeah,
the
like,
water, what if it's actually the quality of the type of water inside of the person that changed? Like, what if it went from like some kind of specific type of water or pH or crystalline structure to another, and that's what's causing like the oxidation and the aging.
oh no, not the
It's
Asian part. It was
always
just
been. We
like the
always been
intake of certain
aging, though.
minerals.
Yeah, but no, but we haven't though.
Like when you
Like,
intake certain minerals and junk, it might have a certain reaction, and then now it may make you look like what we call today black or something. But if I intake more magnesium plants or whatever, then I might turn like a shade of blue or something. Like combined with the sun and shit, I might turn like a shade of blue or a shade of green, or like you know what I mean, like red or something. Like the shit how you were saying, you might start turning all these different colors based off like the diet and what they intaking and the environment too.
So that dude with
That's
his breakdown, he said that the first colors of skin of humans was green, and then it was red, and then it was yellow, and then it was black, and then it was and then it turned white.
How do they know this, though?
I don't know. You got to watch his breakdown. He said some crazy stuff that then we would have to research and backtrack. So we got to go look at that.
okay, I'm gonna try to keep it clean as much
Send
as I
it to-
can, but I'm gonna say
I'll send it
this.
to the book.
Based on the region, the climate, and the type of food that a male infant receives as they grow up will drastically change the size of their private parts. It'll change their body, it'll change their hormonal disposition, it'll change their muscle mass and how much of a back they can develop and how much of like a frame they can grow into. And if that's the case, literally just by changing them location based on their ancestry, like all the grandparents could have been a certain way, you move them to another place, you feed them a different diet, you give them things that their biology is not used to having or has a deficit in, you'll change that morphology completely. So if that's the case, then tack on that the potential of like maybe we had giant trees or giant mushrooms at one point, or we had a atmosphere that was different in its nutrient quality in the sense of like more vapor, more water.
That's it. That's it in the general right there, book.
It's all smoke and mirrors.
You heard?
Yeah, I'm gonna look right now.
If you could, oh, you can't review that while you're on YouTube, right?
Where'd you play it from?
Right there in the Discord in the
yeah,
general.
I know. Is it on? It's on Instagram or something.
Yeah, it's on Instagram. Yep.
Wait, what is that? You posted a manifestation technique?
No, that's the guy that talks about the skin tones and the pineal gland and the radiation that causes our pineal to shrink and our gallbladder to not use all that other stuff.
Hey, but yo, think about this.
People have no
6
This
minutes.
is this is something a dude a long time ago had mentioned. Brendan Cullington. He used to make like these spiritual podcasts, whatever, radios, like fucking 12 years ago, 10 years ago. And he said, take any living creature in this world, any person, and you put their photo in a software and you have that photo inverse colors, it always ends up being blue. It's always a weird combination of blue and white.
Man, reality is not real.
The opposite of
Hey.
everyone and everything's color is blue.
I'm gonna tell you right. I feel like the past ain't real because it don't exist no more. So we can make it's like we can make the past into whatever we want to. Like,
Well, I mean, it happened, but it's not real right now.
yeah, we can, but we can. It doesn't matter. We can make it into whatever we decide for it to be.
Nah, the past already happened. There's no changing nothing. If you got punched in the face when you was a kid, how you gonna change that? Somebody stole on you. You ain't changing that.
Easy.
It happened.
You gonna have at least out of 10 people, you gonna have at least 2 people that believe you when you say it didn't happen.
Well, that's different. That's not changing nothing. That's like goddamn lie.
You change it. You go Mandela effect they mind and be like, ain't nobody punched me in the face. What you mean? Remember I was with you that day. Remember we went and got them sodas from the store. But it still happened. But it's crazy because you can kind of change the past, especially the past that we have no evidence of. You can
Yeah.
really change that. It's easy to change
Bro.
that.
That,
The
re- that
winner
reminds
did.
me of an interview, man. There was this old Jewish guy who essentially, like, he was found out to have lied about being in the Holocaust and made it up to get like attention and to sell books.
Yeah.
And then when he was called out in an interview, the guy kept saying like it didn't physically happen, but it did happen because it happened in my imagination. Therefore, it did happen.
Yeah.
And like the interviewer was completely like just jaw open, like confused, like what? What are you saying? It happened, but it didn't happen. It happened because it was in your imagination. And the dude stayed with it. He would not deviate from that answer. He just kept
Yeah.
saying, to me, it happened because it was in my imagination.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder. You see-
That
That's basically what that was. Have you seen that movie, Dre?
movie's hilarious.
I seen that movie.
Yeah, remember
Yo,
the dude he wrote.
I
he
don't
was
wanna
lying.
be a certain way, but I'm gonna tell you something. For about a few moments watching the movie, I kind of thought Robert Downey Jr. was actually black.
Hey,
Huh?
look, I'm not gonna lie. He did a
Only
damn
white
good
dude- he's the only white
job.
dude that got away with it. He's the only white dude that got away with that.
Oh
He's
my
smart.
God, he did a damn good job too. He sounded just like all my uncles in the '70s.
Yo, he got coached fuck up. They was like, "You gonna play this part right, sir."
Yeah. But in fact, we're gonna put you around all these old black dudes. You just listen to how they talk. You'll pick up on it fast. But I think he did a good job at that. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't feel no bad type of vibes off of that.
That's hilarious. That shit, every time now you watch that movie, that shit is hilarious, yo.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think that movie is classic for sure.
Yeah, it is.
That's
What's
just
up, Gnostic
hilarious.
Chef? Yeah, it's
I
a
think-
dummy classic.
I think white people were more offended seeing him play that character.
They was like, "What?" All his black friends like, "He did it right. He did it right."
Like, how was I supposed to? How is he supposed to play a black guy? And I tried to dress like one the other day. I got in trouble. Hey, no, you know what's funny though? You heard that Euphoria? Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, Kendrick. Yeah, Kendrick Stiff. Yeah.
What you think
I
about
heard
that,
it.
Gnostic Chef? What you think about it?
I thought that last I think the first 2 minutes they could have dropped the first 2 minutes, although I appreciate what it was.
Yeah.
If you would, I think the first 2 minutes could have gone away. The last 4.5 were pretty fire, especially from like 4:45 on
Yeah.
when he starts gaslighting him on not being a dad and
Yeah.
I ain't got no time for that kind of shit. And I was like, damn.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to go is to make your own. Hey, but yeah, I think I like the beginning because I like how he started off like soft. Like, hold on, man, let me play with you for a minute. And then you feel me, I'ma start tossing you around like a seal being tossed by a shark.
Right.
Like,
and I agree with the first beginning being good. It's just like I feel like as far as like the idea of what's going on though, it just felt like unnecessary somewhat. Like it was good for us, but for like the actual idea of the battle, it'd be like I'm not so sure if it was necessary.
And it's crazy because, man, to me, this is hip hop right here. The battles, you feel me? The battles, that's how it was back in the days. They used to battle rap like a mud. Like it's like they don't do that no more. It's like now you battle somebody, it turned into a real war.
Yeah, before I could even remember.
They don't want beef with Chris Brown, man. Chris Brown just.
Oh yeah, Dizzle versus Chris Brown.
That was our fault.
Yeah.
Our era. Our era, because you know my older cousins, when we used to go to the block, it was fun when they was banging the beat on the wall and singing about what they're doing for the day, what we did, and making fun of people, making fun of your shoes, doing all kind of stuff, banging the beat on the wall and rhyming. And but our era came and we made it war rhymes, like we made it fight rhymes, like we disrespectful. Our culture is disrespect. Like, you know what I mean? We talking about slapping you and doing all kind of stuff in the rhyme. So it's like it turns into war.
Oh damn!
It's funny that you
Of course
said that.
It does.
No, what's funny
because you gotta fantasize about that shit to feel good about yourself.
Right now, Ozo, look, swimming. He said, have you ever tried ayahuasca? I did an ayahuasca ceremony, and I was the only one that didn't have an experience. And I drank. He said, and I drank the most. You sound like Ozo. Okay.
You know what that means? That means the ayahuasca wasn't strong, or that his tolerance is high. You feel me? That's all that means. The tolerance was high because I know for a fact. That's what I said when I was at the ayahuasca ceremony. I was like, "This is trash." It was like I took all the cups. I took 3 cups of that shit, and I was like, "This ain't doing nothing." It was like taking an eighth of mushrooms. I was like, "Man." I was expecting this to take over my whole body. I was expecting to be lost in another dimension and all type of stuff, but none of that happened. So I knew, and when I was talking to the people that was there, I was like, man, if I would have do the retreat, I would have gave everybody here 15 grams. I know for a fact everybody would have been tripping. There ain't no doubt. Man. Like there ain't no doubt for 15 grams compared to I'd rather doubt ayahuasca before 15 grams. I know 15 grams works. I tried ayahuasca and I know 15 grams work.
If you'd have had like an MAOI before, it would have been probably different. If you would have took it, when I did it with Charles and we took the MAOI, I threw it up fast. He didn't think it was gonna work, so we took 5 grams after that. It was 3 to 5 grams of mushrooms. So I don't know but it was activated. It was all the way fully activated. But it wasn't the ayahuasca though. That's what's crazy. It was the mushrooms. It was.
It's funny. It's funny that you go to the tribes people like Terrence McKenna and a few of those people talk about. They mentioned I don't know where it's written or who talks about this, but the original they went and tracked down the people who were the original got the ayahuasca from, and those people said that they got it from the mushrooms. That they was the mushrooms. They used to use the mushrooms for ceremony, but something was happening and the climate was changing, and that the mushrooms told the shamans in ceremony that how to make ayahuasca because that the mushrooms was going to be absent for a little while, so that they still had a gateway to get there.
Yeah, see, that's wild. That's wild, because that's what, like, later on, like, when I took the mushrooms, thinking that my ayahuasca experience was the ayahuasca, and the mushroom showed me that it was actually the mushrooms that was stronger than the ayahuasca at the time. The mushrooms was like almost my whole experience. And it was like, but I guess mixing it with the ayahuasca made it so
No, but see,
potent, bro.
that's dope because that's your experience, and you know what I mean. And you rated it because you experimented on yourself, so you seen that it was like, whoa, the shrooms is way more. But we reflect on Kalindi. Kalindi told us the same thing. Kalindi took high doses of ayahuasca. He went through ceremonies of bufo. He went through everything. He said the deepest and the most old ancient is the mushroom.
Yeah. Yeah, the mushrooms is,
And
I
a
don't
lot of
know,
people
they,
don't know it too. He said a lot of people don't know it too because they stop at 10, they stop at 15 grams. He said they don't know about the 30-gram rounds and the above that, beyond the other shit that they into. So it's like, you feel me? It's like ceremonially, mushrooms are the deepest and the most ancient. So there's no there's no bottom to them.
yeah,
Take
Africa
more.
said that Terrence also said ayahuasca is more about earth and mushrooms are more intergalactic. So maybe the ayahuasca gave you deeper roots to solar higher. Man, soar higher. Man, no, bro, that you don't get it, man. When I say, bro, that was, man, it was almost like a 4ACO. It was like kind of went maybe a little bit further because, bro, when I was
You know
getting
what it is?
shocked, I didn't have, bro, when I was leaving, this place was not a place. It wasn't even, bros. The places I was going made this place disappear. I
Wow.
completely forgot about this place and that this place was even here doing what it was. Like this place was just the what is that the one statue of the lady where she hold her one arm out like this and the other one is like that. The wings be out like that. Isis or whatever, bro. It was just her going. This place was just her going like this, like rubbing her eye or putting her hand up here at her eye, and that was this place. It was gone. Just that movement right there was this place right here. Like that's how infinite that ISIS thing was. It's like me just going like this, bro. It created all this and ran through this and went through it, and it was just a
Yo,
touch my
look,
eyebrow.
you know, you know what's amazing though is like, anybody can, if anybody comes forth and tells
What's up
us
with it, Christos?
that they experience what you just said, like the same thing you just experienced off of ayahuasca, I believe it, and off of anything else, I believe it too, because it's the same gateway.
Yeah,
But the tried and true one, like you're saying, is the shrooms always do that, always bring forth some next level. Like it's always next level. The more you mess with it, the more you try to figure it out, the more next level it gets. So
yeah,
it's like, whoa.
and I think I like the how long the shrooms last. That's what I
Yeah.
had got more, caught up in is that it lasted so
I found a dude
long.
YouTube. His name is Alex Collier.
What do you do?
Oh yeah, Alex Collier. Yeah, Collier is the guy who the scientist dude talking about all this. He talks about a lot of stuff, but that one talk that I posted, he's talking about that specific shit that I'm. You gotta look into it. You gotta watch that clip. But yeah, he's everywhere. He talks about a lot of stuff. He's way out there with information.
Alex Collier, how you say his name?
Collier.
Collier.
Collier. Yeah, something like it's a weird
It's a French
pronunciation.
name, so it's Collier. Collier means necklace.
How you spell it?
Collier.
Okay. Alex Collier.
She's a self-proclaimed Andromedan contactee, though, so I don't know about the whole Andromedan thing. I don't really like go with people who say they're like alien contactees or whatever. Sometimes they have some accurate, efficient, like good info. I'm not gonna be like, no, they don't got anything, because they could probably like look into old books, look into old things, have some interesting epiphanies or whatever. But there's like no way to actually prove he's for real a
Mars.
contactee, number one.
Oh yeah,
And number
Icarus.
two, if you're into like ufology anything that is Andromedan is usually trying to invade our galaxy or whatever. So they're like technically kind of enemies of us.
Hey.
That's like saying, you know, Australia, those dudes are technically, those are all enemies of us.
Nah, but in the sense of like
Nah,
they're
the
actually
smoke and
like
mirrors, man.
like the ufology lore, the Andromedans, they got all the insectilians, the mantis people, and all that.
True, them people be saying some crazy stuff. I don't believe nothing from any human, but at the end
Have
of the
it all,
day,
man. He's
you
all
could take
master.
psychedelics and have these things that they call channeling. Like who knows what it is where we're seeing seeing other things, you know what I mean? Like that vision is beyond just a psychedelic scramble in your brain that is showing you some reboot show that never existed. Like it's like
You want to know something, man? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, especially people who participate in like clinical studies, the scientists that study psychedelics and all that shit. They'll always be like, "Oh, but it's just a localized hallucinated faculty in your mind. Your mind is making it
yeah.
all up." And I'm like, pause. I've done it in groups with people. Me and my friend, like when we were roommates, we would do this together. We would go on road trips and do this, and we saw the exact same thing. You got people who go to ayahuasca ceremonies and they see the exact same thing together. They have group experiences. How can you tell me how can you tell me this is a localized individual experience when you have people who share the exact same visual functions? That one doesn't make any sense. And then they don't want to address that one because they can't explain it. And usually, if they can't explain it, they don't even bother. Like,
Natural hallucination.
Okay, man. I turned my camera off, man. It was taking up too much CPU. We've been running on 96 to 100 CPU the whole time. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, we good now. I just can't turn the
Just
camera
step
on
your game
again.
up, man. Step up your game, man.
Guy TV.
how much RAM do you have? And how much graphic RAM do you have? Like, do you have a decent graphic card?
I don't know. I do not know. Let's see, even trying to open that up and take it all the way up to a gunny. It be gunny. Gunny. I think I got like 24 gig RAM. Yep, 24
Well,
gig
that's
RAM.
way more than enough. What's your graphic card?
2080 30i.
Let me see. I don't even know. I don't even know how to read that thing.
Okay, so what you do is you hit the Windows button, settings button, then you hit the
About,
system
right?
button.
Don't be doing tutorials up in here, yo.
And then you hit
And then you hit about.
Yeah.
About is what it is, yeah.
And is it?
It should tell you your processor.
Man, the processor is the AMD FX63. That ain't a good one though. That shit old.
I got the i7.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. Get an i7 again. I had an i5, but I'm gonna have to get an i7. I don't know. This computer was doing good when I first got it though. I ain't gonna lie, it was running smooth. I don't know what
My
Man,
happened.
you
computer
might
should work
actually like if it runs you up to like $700, $800 to get an upgrade, I would literally just go for like a brand new laptop. My laptop was $900 and this thing is like a monster. It's got i5, it's got a 4 GB graphic card, it's got 1 TB on it.
Yeah, I ran through a
See,
gang of laptops. I ran through a few
yeah.
laptops, but I want a desktop though.
Oh yeah.
I just want a desktop so I can just keep running two
Wait
monitors.
for specials and then buy like one of those bundles where like people sell you the stuff to like make your own computer.
Nah, it's crazy because like even hearing people talk about like Exile helping me and stuff. Like you learn so much, but then at the same time you still be kind of in the dark on stuff. So when I was getting what I thought was good deals on computers, like when I was just buying them from people, I think that's where I was messing up at. It's like you said, I just need to. I'm gonna just wait, and just go get a new one, a brand new one. Cause when I got the laptops, I had got them brand new though. But then the Surface Pro, it's like I don't know. Is it that they get outdated or something, and they just start running slow? Like even when I reset this one, and it was
Sometimes it could literally just be like a little bit too much accumulated inside, or maybe like you need to replace the heat paste on the processor.
oh no, that might be it too. But I mean, can is it possible to put too much heat paste?
Yeah.
Okay, cause I ain't gonna lie, I think I put like 4 drops or 5 to make sure. So I might just have to take it apart, and do it again, clean it, and do it all over. Cause I didn't know how far it was gonna spread out, so I put a couple of them.
And depending on what kind of games you run and what you got installed,
So let me
I'm
see
not gonna like say this is probably an actual thing, but it is sort of a thing sometimes, especially for YouTubers or people who are like potential targets or whatever. Some people like to run shadow hashing on people's machines, where they'll hijack your machine and like hash crypto stuff on it without you being aware of it.
Oh wow! I know it just got a gang of like
It could also just
weird.
be Chrome. Like if you're using Google Chrome, man, that thing uses like everything.
Yeah, I don't
Like
even
if
know.
you pull up the processes tab, like if you do Control Shift Tab or Control Shift Escape, I
Yeah,
forgot which
that's
one it
where I'm at.
was.
That's what I got up right now,
Yeah,
and
Chrome uses everything.
it's like crazy because I don't have no Chrome tab even open. I just got Streamlabs and Discord. That's it right now. And they
Discord
like
also uses a lot. Discord uses your graphic card for some reason. I mean, it makes sense since it's got like a video app going on, but it uses your graphic card.
yeah, that shit don't use OBS using like 40% by itself. I don't even know why it went up so high. I'll figure it out today. I'll take care of it. MacBook Pro. Man, I sold that Apple computer because like Streamlabs, it don't got all the functions on Apple. Like when I was running Streamlabs OBS, and you know I pay for the yearly subscription, it didn't have all the functions. So it was like too much other stuff I had to do to run it off Streamlabs. That's why I got rid of that that iMac. Yeah, I don't run OneDrive either. But I'm like the that laptop I just got though. It was running things better, and it was only using like 20 something percent CPU. And then I was wondering if it was the fact that I wasn't running Windows 11. What you think about Windows 11, Dre?
I have it. It's okay. I can't say it's pretty bad. I just hate that you have to go through a lot of hoops to turn off their inbuilt advertisement and recommendations and like news thing.
Oh yeah.
Like it comes pre-enabled with a bunch of bloatware, which is really terrible.
Okay,
But
like okay, when it comes to a computer, what about like if I just can I just upgrade my CPU without just upgrading the whole motherboard?
if it's compatible, yeah, you can just look it up and see what's the like latest compatible processor to the motherboard you have.
then how you find out what your motherboard is?
Um, hmm. If you bought the computer straight like that, you can look up what the computer is and it'll sometimes tell you the specifications of the motherboard on like a website or whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, you'd have to actually like open it and like figure out the serial code written on it. Or like sometimes the name of the actual thing is written on it.
Yeah, okay. I think that's what I'll probably just try. Because if this is
Because I think, I'm not too sure about this, but I think there is a limit of what you can install on a motherboard if it doesn't have the actual like openings and pins to put like a new processor on it.
I'm gonna have to find out what kind of motherboard this is first.
Also heat tolerance too. I think that if the processor can get too hot, it might actually like damage the motherboard. So you need a motherboard that's like resistant to that temperature. Because if I recall, like the first year that the i7s came out, they were like causing fires and they were melting computers, like physically melting them.
Damn. Dang, that's my other one like crashed like that. That's it, just crashed. But I wasn't even looking at the output and everything. Let's see. That one already. But no, I'm gonna cut this live. I'll be back in a little bit. Let me figure this out. See if you can take load off the GPU. That's what I did. I'm running. I tried to run everything off the GPU, but the GPU is still. It won't even use 10. It's like using 10% right now. And it's like Discord is only using 2.6 GPU, but it's using like 25% CPU. I switched this right here, Streamlabs, to run off the GPU too, but it won't do it.
Yo, kick rocks, bro.
I'm about to kick rocks off of YouTube.